This saying once was told to me. Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Blessings to all you beautiful people. It's a new day, new beginning. To get a chance to wake up in the morning, feeling rejuvenated, looking for the best day to feel. It's the time to give all praises to your eye. Yes, indeed. For everyone who believes in yourself, I have faith in you. I know times get rough sometimes, but you have to keep pushing and always believe in yourself. Everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Me living in this van has given me great opportunity to learn who I am and become better me. I'm so proud of myself. You know, you can be proud of other people. It's cool, man. Some people make you so proud. But when you're proud of yourself and you can pat yourself on the back and look in the mirror and say, I'm so proud of you. Man, that's the best feeling in the world. Just knowing you can be proud of yourself for your accomplishments and your goals and setting out to become exactly who you were meant to be. I know for a fact I am who I was meant to be. I know that I'm still striving to become the best version of myself, but it feels very, very good. I mean, it feels very good inside, all up in here, when you don't have any negativity in your life. Just like I drive this road full of bumps, you're gonna have bumps to come in front of you in life. But as them bumps come, you just keep rolling over. You might have to align yourself at some point, but don't worry. Get the alignment and keep pushing. Your alignment is when you pray to your higher power and ask for help. When you put forth an effort to move in a direction that you ask your higher power for. Because I'm a witness that I'm not being steered wrong at all. And if I am being steered wrong, right now it feels so good being steered wrong. If I'm being steered wrong, maybe I'll see it in the long run. But right now, it ain't shit shaking. I'm being steered in the right direction because I can feel it. It's like I can feel anything else. I can actually feel it. So I'm gonna keep running over these bumps, but I'm gonna slow it down before I hit these bumps and slowly go over them and then keep on pushing.
I like that. Hey y'all. How y'all doing today? Welcome. I am so glad to have you guys with me, and I thank you guys so much for joining me. I thank all of my new subscribers, all my new loved ones. Welcome to my community, um, to our community. And I have a Bible verse for you today before we get started. and that's at Proverbs 3 and 5, 3, 5 through 7. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and oh, lean not unto thine own understanding. And always acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So I know that that is self explanatory, and it also goes with what Magic Man Mike was saying. I really wanted to start this episode on a positive note. We have enough negativity going on every channel you turn on, and that's that's understandable. It's a lot going on in the world, and um, today, as I come to you, I'd like to remind you that we're just grateful to have woken up today and to be able to have the opportunity to get get to what we got to get to. Keep rolling over those bumps, slowing down when they look too raggedy. And today's episode, I'm talking about um, gig work, which is all of the app work from Uber, Uber Eats, Walmart, Spark, um, Amazon, um, all of the apps that we was talking about with just Toya yesterday. And I think she gave us a great breakdown. Also, gig work is apart from uh, YouTubers and different online creators, influencers, or whatever they might go by. But the ones who's making money online. Um, and so I put that apart from it. But I do want to say that uh, we pay our own taxes separately as we go, and that's in being focused and trying to sort of be ahead of the ball or whatever. And in doing that, you sort of have a ability to see how much you are grossing, how much is turning over, and the same with those that do gig work. And I had a couple of people where I saw that they was complaining about the price of gas and their gig work and the money turning over and making it as profitable for themselves as possible and everything. And I'm going to get into that a little bit today. And there was this one creator who took a long time to pretty much say the same thing over and over. And I didn't want to waste that type of time, but basically saying that some calls aren't worth taking it because of the tip, because of course their flat rate isn't as um, it's not making it worth it. The tip is what makes it worth it, unless it's like Amazon or like that, but like DoorDash and like that. So um, I I was myself. I was tipping 10% before gas rose or whatever, but I always do big orders because I try to do my bulk shopping, and it was had nothing to do with gas. It was just really more beneficial for me to shop in bulk instead of having to, even though I have a membership, instead of them having to come back and forth, and then in doing that, the tips was worth it because sometimes they do the shopping, they're driving, and then come. So my tip might be 20 to $25 because, the 10%. But in knowing that, I am putting it out there, a lot of stuff, like yesterday, I had put out there about what the trucker had said in my comments or whatever. A lot of stuff don't feel like I could almost see viewers looking like, what that got to do with you, or what that got to do with the show, or how is that any of your business or whatever. But in that, I'll say that anytime you have a format to try to um, put out positivity, then you always want to do your best uh, to try to put out things that will benefit more than the just your audience. You'd like for it to, you want to put out as much positive um, and beneficial as you can. Me personally, I'm not gonna get all up into myself today, but I'm disabled with my neuropathy in my hands and my feet, and that's been for the past like yeah, about 8 years. And my biggest uh outlet is is doing this as a job. I'm trying to make it a job. Whereas as I was doing the skits, I was working because I was getting paid from TikTok. But now the Lord is having me to do this. And in doing that, I was caregiver, and in doing this, I want to be the biggest, put out the best of what I can. So I did want to say that, as far as I know we all have it tough, but just putting that out there as far as tips go or whatever. And so, with us starting with on a positive note, I would like to also stay realistic without condemning or bringing anything negative, but staying realistic to the facts. So I would be doing my community, you guys, a disservice not to have anyone speak about what's going on and how it affects people who are not doing um, gig work or delivery work, and just a simple van lifer. So I'm going to do one of those. And I came on 8 minutes late. Um, because I thought it was on while I was playing him the first time. But no worries. I'll say 8 minutes late. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys over to um, another car lifer who is to speak for herself, and that's Pamela Madore. I like this channel because she's not a channel wasn't visiting her. She's speaking on her own channel, and she hasn't been monetized or anything. She's speaking just because this is her. In fact, I stayed away from the other ones that's doing like that. I wanted a private somebody who was just only speaking real talk without anything linked to it. Not that there's something wrong with anything linked to it, but I just wanted somebody that it affected their plans. They don't have no extra money. They have exactly what they started with. And this is her. This is Pamela Madore, my second guest today. Pam.
Yes, and I felt like I was in some surreal Alfred Hitchcock movie because at $4.59 a gallon, I'm waiting for the birds to go swooping in and that eerie, surreal kind of music to start playing. I'm thinking, can this really be real? $4.59 a gallon? I just spent $332 to drive from West Texas to northern Arizona. That averaged me $4.06 a gallon. Now, and last year, in this same time period, it was $2.59 a gallon. That's quite a difference. Every summer I go to Maine. Well, this summer I'm not going to be able to because gas prices have changed my summer plans. To go to Maine and back from where I am is 5,742 miles. I get 15 miles to a gallon, and so that's like $1,600 to drive from where I am right now to Maine and back. So, what is that doing to me? I'm going to be staying longer in places that I am so that I don't have to spend so much money to travel. And I don't know about you, but $1,600 for gas, it takes a pretty big chunk out of my monthly income. Even if I spread that over a few months, that's a whole lot more than it was last year at this same time. So my plans changed. So since I'm not going to be traveling to Maine this summer to visit my family, then I think it's just more important that somebody knows where I am. So that's why I use Snug. I'm going to let Jackie tell you about Snug. If you live alone, you have to have Snug. Let me tell you about Snug. But let me tell you first that if you live off grid, you really, really, really need to have some way for people to know
I
that
thought
you're
this was a good
so
product.
Snug is actually the perfect answer. It is an app that you download on your phone, either your iPhone or your Android. It doesn't matter. It's totally, totally free. You put in there your emergency contact, which I have my daughter in there, and every single morning I check in. If I don't check in, then she gets a text that says, "Hey, your mom didn't check in today. You probably ought to find out if she's in the desert and she's okay." There is a paid version for Snug, which does a whole bunch of other things. But first, I would recommend that you download the free version. Do it today. It's Snug and give it a try. Now, also, there's some little tricks you can play with it too. If you're lonely and you haven't talked to anybody for a while, I would say you could put in 20 names as your emergency contacts and then don't check in and see how many phone calls you get. Download
She's cute.
Snug today. Thank you so much.
It's her talking about
And
Jackie.
sometimes I'm buying
It's
diesel
like her
and
personality.
I don't even know how they're doing it. But
And
if you
she's
live where
staying
I am,
positive. I love that.
it's an absolutely gorgeous place. I'm on BLM land in Arizona. I can stay here for 14 days and then drive 25 miles for 14 more days. And so my plan is now, since I'm not going to Maine, over this same amount of time that I would have done that, I'm probably going to, instead of 5,742 miles, I'm probably only going to be driving a couple thousand miles. So that's like a third of mileage. And so even at $4.59 a gallon is not going to cost me nearly as much. So I'm not whining. I'm going to enjoy my summer months in different
Yeah,
places around the Northwest. But, it's just a little bit, I go to Maine every summer and visit my family, but this year I'm not going to go. So tell me in the comments, how are these gas prices affecting what you are doing? And I'm not just talking about nomads, people that live on the road and
right.
we spend a lot of money traveling and for gas. But even if you live in the sticks and bricks, gas prices got to be affecting you too. And not only gas prices. Have you been to the grocery store lately? I mean, we're kind of getting
Bam.
pushed. And as seniors, most of us are pretty much on fixed income. And
Mhm.
my income didn't go up to meet that gas price challenge. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
So let me know, how is this affecting you? Do you have a nice place to stay? 2 weeks at a time? That's what I'm going to be doing. So follow along. I'll show you all the places that we stay this summer. Subscribe.
And I told you guys her name is Pamela Madore. It's spelled just like it sounds. And that was on 10 days ago that she posted that. And so I wanted to make sure to do something current. And yeah, I know that I try to stay positive, and I know not try to, I stay positive. And that doesn't mean I don't have a lot going on. It doesn't mean that the grocery prices has risen too. And I'm on a fixed income, one one income. uh taking care of me and my son right now. And so we all are in the same uh we're all in the same world together. But I do know that staying positive, being negative doesn't change anything. And staying positive keeps you in a higher frequency, and it shows God that you have faith, that no matter what's going on in the world, He's going to get you through. And He's even if you don't have everything you want, you have everything you need. And the luxury about Miss Pamela Madore is that though she can't travel to those places, there was once a time where she could only make a phone call. Now we have Zoom, FaceTime. Um, it used to be a time where you could only have to drive to Western Union to send money. Now you have Zelle if you have a credit union account or a bank account. You can transfer money. You have Cash App, Apple Pay, so many PayPal. And if you have to send money or receive money, um, and you have delivery options if you can't get out. That's not just for people with regular credit cards. It's so many, like you get net spend. If you don't have a credit union account or bank account, um, but there was once upon a time where you had to have American Express or Visa in order to qualify for anything, in order to have anything delivered. But now, if you have the funds, then you can get it delivered if you don't have a card. You have Uber. And so, as I know, as things has risen and everything, it's hard for me not to bring that up, talking about car life. So I had to bring that up. But I'm moving on. And I also wanted to just say real quick, do you guys have emotional support clothes? That's what I've been trying to get out my hair. I was trying to run this here young lady. Um, she had a short yesterday. I was trying to run her because I thought this was such a great name she gave it. Emotional support clothes, as she put it, are the baggy shirt or baggy pants, but for me it's always loose dress or big loose t-shirt. Um, and it's what you put on to make yourself feel like you're getting a big hug from your clothes. Make yourself feel like you can just lounge. Some things you get and they're cute to lounge in or whatever, but some things, the things that you get that's cute to lounge in, they might feel good against your skin and everything, but they don't feel good laying down. I couldn't lay on like satin covers or whatever. I have to have my cotton, you know, really silky type of cotton. I couldn't lay down in that, you know, uh silky kind of feeling. Is nice to lounge in, but like I'd have to have a nice material like this, a little bit loose or whatever. And I noticed a lot of of car lifers stay in their emotional support clothes, and people who stay around the house. I was watching this one influencer who does these skits. I'm not gonna say what kind or whatever, but recently I had to stop watching her because she did something that offended me spiritually or whatever. But anyway, um but I noticed that she wears really really nice things and whatever. And but I know when it's time for her to get comfortable, I'm like, I know she don't wear that when she's time for her to get comfortable, because those is they're so cute, but not really comfortable lounging or whatever. But I notice people who, like, when it's time to relax on those rainy days or van lifers or whatever, and you're able to put on your emotional support clothes and whoever you're able to be around. I mean, I can't be around nobody with my emotional support clothes except my son because they look so raggedy. I don't even go out the door with them on. I'll be like, no, I don't go to the mailbox with my hair not done, nothing. But I was just talking about that because I had just saw her this morning. I'm like, man, I can't even run it. I'm like, that is so cute because it's such a luxury. We think about how some people can only wear what we would call emotional support clothes as their. I mean, that's it. That's all they have to wear. Some people don't have the luxury of saying, well, you know what? I'm not gonna go nowhere until um I have to. That car ain't gonna move till it has to move, you know. Some people have to move it no matter what. Some people don't have the option. They trying to get their 401k or whatever. They have to they have to go to work. Um and not to mention, you think about people who have to go to work when the government is shut down and they've been working a job for 20 years and they don't get paid for that time. And they have to rearrange their children's whole schedule. Maybe their child is in daycare. Daycare costs a pretty penny. Um, and you think about how much worse it could be. It could always be worse. Um, and if you think about it, if you're one of God's children, if you have, well, if you are with your higher power, if you're like this, God is in your life. Um, well, I have to say, I have to say, my God, because I can't promote nothing else. If God is in your life and if you're walking with God, then you'll notice stuff be happening like man, that happened just right in time. I can't believe it. I don't believe that oh my goodness, I'm so glad to see you. Or um man, I was not even expecting this. Oh man, or I was expecting this. I've been expecting my tax money and it ain't came. It finally came. Oh my goodness. I'm glad it didn't come a couple weeks ago because I would have shot this away. But I need this money for gas. I need to, and it's just like he always make a way out of no way. He always, it's like he always had that foresight. It always comes right in time. It's always on point. And that's the God I serve. That's the God, not like I'm like I can pick and say how his personality would be. But that's just so happened. It's not like we just get everlasting life. We also get the benefit of the promises he brought. I believe in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So when I say he brought, I mean Jesus, the God man. And so the promises he brought, that he didn't just come, that he would uh he didn't come to mock us, to burden us, or anything. He came that we would have life and have it more abundantly. And he meant that. He meant that none of his words returned to him in vain. And you can only just watch and see someone who claims to be living that life, about that life. And even when it looked like things ain't working out, it's just like right at the very last minute, it'd be like, she made me sick. but really it'd be the God in my life or the God in his life. And yeah. So with that said, I'm going to move on. I want y'all to check out the beginning of this here clip real quick. I thought this was very inspirational. So as y'all see his name, that's the Solar Camper. I just want y'all to see that's his opening, and his opening gives such a great um preview to what his show is about. And you guys should definitely check him out. His show is so good, so good. He'd be cooking up most van lifers or car lifers. It's like they cook the most exciting meals. Oh my goodness, they be you need to take notes when they about to cook something. And they be having a little air fryer. I had said I was cooking last night, and I was cooking and I was filming myself. Sometimes I'll do that for my Instagram account. And I had said, I don't know if I edited this part out or whatever, but I had saw this van lifer that I watch now, that I subscribe to. Her name is LJ and Oreo. And I was watching her, and she had made some biscuits in her air fryer. So I had thought to myself, I could make some cornbread in my air fryer. So I'm gonna try that. But I didn't want to try it on my son's meal. I was like, I'm gonna wait and try it on a Sunday afternoon when I put some stuff in the crock pot, some beef stew or something with potatoes and stuff, and try it like that. But yeah, they be throwing down in their vehicle. They be cooking. I'm like, how I know smells, good smells be just coming out of there. I want to remind you guys about my love's giveaway gas, my love gas card giveaway, which is basically me Apple paying or cash apping or PayPaling something that has the encryption. It has to have the encryption. I won't do it for myself, but I'll be doing $50 May the 29th and June the 29th, $50 each time. And that's for 7 words that I put out on different videos. It'll be on different times of the videos and different days. I'm just putting out the reminder today. I am not saying a word today. So you have to, if you haven't seen it before now, I have put out 2 words so far. Okay. And before I move on, I want to make sure there's nothing. Oh, yeah. I got a really good idea for you guys. If you are, even if you're not a car lifer, you know what's a really good idea? If you feel like you're in a threatening area, or if you're a car lifer, is to have a fake wallet with gift cards that don't have your name on it, with old receipts that's not, don't have much on balance on it or whatever, and keep that fake wallet like readily available on you, and then keep your real wallet in your sock tucked or something where it's not readily available, where if you're in a questionable place, you know um I would say a rest area where you can't see because of the trucks or whatever, you can't see you walking from your car, or maybe you picking up your tax check, or you cash your tax check or something like that. You can go in the bathroom and you can, but that is a good strategy that I had read in a comment section. And I thought to myself, because I once lived in the projects, and they actually had a scam going where that Walmart over there, and it looked like maybe even some of the employees was in on it because so many people was getting robbed up there. And I was like, I'm not going to no Walmarts at that time. That was like 8 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. Yeah, it has to be about 10 years ago because I didn't have no rapid then. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was such a good idea. But moving on, I want to take you guys now to what's next. I really appreciate you guys for joining me today, and I invite you to also follow me on Instagram. My personal page is Jeanette Nash. That's my real name. And then Love Skits. Okay. I have this young lady who retired early, and I wanted to bring her on because she speaks about
How you do
her.
romance. I've met people that they know.
She speaks about her retirement and her waiting. Hey, she speaks about her retirement and her wait. Come on now. She speaks about her retirement and her waiting to join the van life. And she didn't realize. I'll let her say her own story. Hold on, here she is. I'm trying to rewind her, but I went to the never mind. Let me just remind her.
They never cook. Why would they need a kitchen? Why would they need the pantry? It's a good.
Look at that. I gotta rewind her though. There we go. I like her spirit. She has such a beautiful, humble spirit.
I learned that I could retire at 57. From 55 and up, there was this policy that you could retire without being penalized using your 401k. I learned it from my finance advisor. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And I had already been talking to him about traveling in a van. And I said, I don't have a big van yet. I got a caravan and that's it. But my goal is to be able to stand up in the morning, and I need a taller van to do that. And he's like, you can do it. And I'm like, oh my God, I could. That is wonderful.
Look at that.
And I started watching YouTube, people traveling in vehicles of all kinds. And I thought that looks wonderful. You can go throughout the whole country and see everything. And to me, I felt like I was missing that. And I decided that it was time for me to retire and go enjoy my life and take a little control. So that's what I'm doing. I'm meeting people, having fun the way I want to have fun. And this really,
That's how she
is
want to
so
have
good.
fun.
This has been the best I've ever imagined. A lot of people ask
She
me,
looks comfortable.
why did I come up with this? I wanted an open concept. I wanted to be able to see from the front to the back. I needed that light from the windows, all this to be instantly seen when I woke up in the morning. I wanted a place for my sister to be able to sleep if she was traveling with me. So I had the couch built, and everything in between was flexible. It is a U shaped.
I want to say, because this is a Car Lifer show, of course, I don't want to end on a negative note. This is why I wanted her to go for my last guest. But also, a lot of people live in the desert, and they don't have the problem of having gas problem. They live in a in the community, where other people parked and they don't have to pay for the space or whatever. And so that's why you'll see people like in the background or whatever. They actually moved to the desert. So when she said she wanted to just do retire and do van life, retirement sometimes wouldn't pay for very hiked up prices. But when you move and you're not paying for your land and you're only paying for water and, you know, um, different stuff to decorate your spot and everything, then that makes a major difference. And so she can decide, like the first lady could decide when they travel, or if they travel. And it was still even a beautiful thing that the first lady that I brought forth as a guest that she still had the option if she wanted to or not.
Formation, which is great when you're working or if I'm exercising. And I have a kitchen over here right in the slider doorway, and I love it. Let's start with that. The kitchen was designed so that I would have counter space. I actually have more counter space here than I do in my apartment. I love the pantry. The extra storage down here is partly pantry and other kitchen items, and it gives me enough space and more than enough. Everything is within reach. I don't have to run out into a different room to get anything. Pantry, silverware,
That's what
my
I love about my
appliances,
kitchen too.
everything
Small.
is right where I can reach it without taking a full step forward. When it's time to design your home, tiny or van, you know what kind of a person you are, how you do your meals. I've met people that they never cook. Why would they need a kitchen? Why would they need the pantry? Those are good questions. I prepare my foods, so I gave myself the extra space. What surprised me about that I use the microwave is I had no plans on putting a microwave in. To do RV insurance, I needed a permanent cooking appliance. I didn't want anything on the counter permanent. So I said, okay, we'll take one of the upper cabinets and put a microwave in, same size as at home. And I thought it's just going to sit there.
Nice.
I'll use it for storing stuff in it. But I use it. I prepare things in the crock pot or the skillet and I portion it out, freeze it, pop it in the microwave, warm it up, and I'm back on the road in 20 minutes. And I didn't hit a restaurant. I'm eating healthy, so that was a bonus. Even though it uses 1200 watts an hour, I'm only using it for 3 minutes, maybe tops. Same with an 80-liter fridge freezer. I knew that I was
Oh,
going to be preparing foods, freezing them, and then pulling them out as I needed. So I wanted that. This can be one tip that I've learned with my kitchen that might help you. The wood looks nice, but you do have to take care of it. And even if you are the best caregiver to your kitchen counter, all these pieces of wood can come apart. If I could have changed it, I would have gone with a laminated countertop. So keep that in mind. It's simple, easy to clean, and you can get it in a variety of colors so they look beautiful. So at this end of the counter is my sink, and I love it. It if I wanted to, I could give you a shower.
uh,
I don't cook under the cabinetry, so I push this aside and then I cover the sink with the board that it came with.
I
The
didn't.
stove goes right on top of it. And nowadays I use a diffuser. It helps heat the whole pan instead of just getting certain spots without it.
That's what I
I was comfortable using a camp stove
use.
before. The camp stove to me is comfort. Cooking on gas. I grew up using gas. So I like it. If I need to, if it's a hot day, I can blow any smoke, steam right out of the van. So if I need more counter space, I have the lagoon table. And if you don't need it out, you can take it and put it away. If you haven't figured it out yet, everything in tiny living has to have a multi-purpose. This is a
That's
big
cute.
van compared to some of them. So I have a luxury. Not everything has more than one use, but my lagoon table does. And I love it. So I can use this in the kitchen. I can use this having my dinner here in the swivel chair. If I want to, I can take the whole thing and move it over to the couch At the moment, I'm enjoying it over here. Gotta have a little change once in a while. Keep that in mind. If you're building out a van, what can you do with something more than one way? The fridge and freezer are under the bench here, and it's well ventilated because
That
it
is,
really
yeah.
does need that open air venting. So there's venting on the front and the
Mm,
side. It's an 80-liter bodega cooler, fridge, freezer, and the bench is this high because the cooler is so tall. So I do need a little footstool, to put my feet on when I'm sitting back here.
I like
But
that.
I love it. It's so worth
Mhm.
that little stool, to be having my cooler. So the reason I went with a cooler is because cold air settles, hot air rises. So if you have a fridge and you're opening the door, you lose more cold air every time you open that door compared to the cooler. You actually save the power, doesn't have to run as often. It does take power. So you have to be aware of how much power do you want to use for your cooler or fridge and how much space you want to use. Because I knew I was putting in a 5 foot bench, that was my priority was the cooler and then my bathroom. I figured everything out from what was left over and then the dresser. My bathroom, I've kept very simple. Because the cooler is high, I have wiggle room in the bathroom area if I ever change my mind, want to do something else. But at this point in time, I'm just using a commode toilet, which is a bucket with a regular toilet seat on it. And I clean it out and I go on with my day. There's nothing fancy about it. I do not have a shower. I don't plan on ever having a shower in my van. And when I was researching my build, I listened to a lot of people who had been on the road and they put showers in their vans. No, they didn't use them. They stored things in their showers. And I'm like, nope, I don't need that wall because that's what it would end up being is something in my way. And I didn't want that. I wanted the open feel. I had already started transitioning and not getting a shower every single day. Even when I was working, my body, my skin, my hair is just so much healthier. Going once a week, getting a shower, washing my hair, maybe even every 2 weeks, depending on what I'm doing. So transitioning into the van without the shower was no issue whatsoever. I probably get a shower more often on the road than I was at home. I've always tried to get as many people around me as possible. Living by myself back home, it didn't happen. But out on the road, with having the couch and having the swivel, and I can put an extra seat over here, and I can probably throw in another seat somewhere. I'm getting the company I like. I'm around people. I have a full house, if you want to call it that. I love having the couch. At this point, there's nothing I would change in it. I might change it to cloth. That's it. Like we
Lovely.
said, everything should have more than one purpose. It's a wonderful dresser, but it's also my nightstand.
So we get the idea. It's not much more she could say. And if you like to check her out, as you can see, she's have a very, very entertaining space, and you could check out her neighbors and everything too. Tiny home tours. And so, yeah, that was my last guest today. I wanted to also say that don't that look like that top she had on? That's a good example of emotional support clothes. Like, she just kicked those pants off and then just have a nice breezy long shirt on that just breeze. That was really cute. Yeah, I had thought about that while she was talking. I'm like, that looked like exactly what I was just not talking about. Tomorrow, I'm going to be, my guests will be having pets, and I will be having LJ and Oreo on as my guests tomorrow. And gotta meet, uh, she calls her dog Ori. And I start to have her on today, but I wanted to make some points, some different points today. But I got three uh, YouTubers, the official YouTubers that's monetized that will be on tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, so we had today's guest was Tiny Home Tours, Solar Camper, Solar Camper Car. Pamela Madore was my first guest, and Magic Man Wiz. I really love how he opened up and he came on with his sound like poetry kind of, but it was just a opening of how positive he talks to his community, and I wanted to share it with you guys, my community, my loved ones. And so I was saying that uh, I always expressed to my audience on TikTok whenever I would go live, because I do skits on there. And I feel good promoting both my Instagram here and also my TikTok, because as you guys join my community, I see you guys as my supporters. And I would tell my TikTok audience, as I told you guys when I first started, um, that I say loved ones because you're loved by God. And and it sounds cute with love or whatever. But I would like to add that you're my loved ones as well, because you're my supporters, you're part of my community. And um, this community is different in the sense that I had got a notification that I would be monetized on this channel. And so I had to fill out the forms and everything. Now, as you guys see, I have a decent following, 20,000 followers, subscribers, which I'm grateful for every one of my subscribers, because in that, there was a lot of skits that I had put forth, but then there was also other used content that like bring up Michael Jackson content, Oprah Winfrey, and everything like that. So after they reviewed it, they came back and said, okay, that's a lot of used content. So now I am really just going by where I started my show. They said I could contest it, but I have no need to contest it. I put up exactly what I want to put up, and I was not going for monetization. I'm not the Lord put me forth here even still. I wanted to get monetized, but I didn't feel like I could, challenge them in any way if they had something to say. So they would monetize my stuff that I put forth, which I've had over, 1 million views on my stuff. But I had so much more on the other stuff, like about 10 million views, 6 million on one alone. But anyway, but that was used content. So anyway, with this show and with the subscribers that I've gotten from this show, between even uh, new accounts that's been made for since I have a lot of new accounts, people who made new accounts to join. Anyway, these are you guys are getting to know me and what I would show, what would be a part of my direct essence of daily waking up, planning. It's a very big part of my life because I plan my life around this show. And I also, my son is homeschooled, and well, between home and on, he has a agenda um, online, but I'm his main teacher. And so I have to do that, breakfast, lunch. I'm disabled, so I take medication. I have to get a certain amount of sleep. I have to, I take in this content, I write it down, and then bring up who I'm going to bring up. I get up early. I have to go sleep early, like that. So this is a very big part of who I am and becoming. And so that's why I said that I relate directly to them. I'm also becoming. This is what God is having me to do and steering my life as well, in direct contrast to who I'm coming across and bringing to you guys. So, in saying all that, this is actually the community that I am building, um, that the Lord is helping me to build from here on out. Not from a skit, not from something I thought was funny, but directly from something that the Lord's having me to do, um, that's not biblically speaking. I add him in everything I do because of him being the biggest part of my life. So, anyway, with all that said, loved ones, and I felt comfortable inviting you to my Instagram community because Instagram allowed me to promote YouTube on their platform and TikTok as well, and not just once, many times. So, in all fairness, I felt that since you're my supporters, that I would let you guys come in to my private page to join me. That's the first time I invited. I don't invite my TikTok family. Um, uh, Only because I hadn't thought to on my private account. So anyway, not like you should feel be honored, but you should know that is all. So anyway, and I will follow you back. So, and I guess you'll say, how will I know? I'll know because people who followed me from here on out, I found them. That's how. I'm so glad you guys joined me today. And, I am so grateful that um, you guys are so, I could tell you guys are just so blessed and so um, different because you're here in the world today, in this world. And I'm just, I'm really looking forward to what the Lord will have us, you know, in the future. I'm looking forward to your comments, us getting to know each other, um, and us knowing each other on first name basis and stuff. And so, yeah, anyway, have a great day. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow for my show with the uh, van lifer, van lifer and her pet, and the car lifer and his pet. And I'll find one more creator. How about that? Okay. Have a great day. Peace.